Would the A-type personalities please raise their hand? So basically you're a go-getter, you're persistent, you go after what you want, you go after your goals until you fully achieve them. So then you may have realized, like what I have, that your ability to actually enjoy those goals that you've beaten into submission is almost non-existent because your brain is already onto the next mission impossible. Look, a new schedule of goals and achievements which never ends because you're fantastic at discipline and deleting your soul simultaneously. And maybe you're slowly realizing that the person that you are is not exactly the same as the personality that you've created to fit into this cultural environment that you happen to be born into. Be an obedient child, you'll be accepted into the tribe. Be a hard worker, you will be able to eat today for a chance of coming back and doing it again tomorrow. Be an agreeable, happy person, you will be liked and respected so long as you fulfill your quota. Well, now that our bonding over this warped state of existence effectively makes us family, I'm going to share a few things that I've found that has worked in remaining productive without burning your life to a crisp. Notice something different this week. Well, this is a deliberately creative, productive schedule for myself. I've decided to live in New Zealand. I've been finding it's easy to get caught up in the achievement mode, and when you solely schedule your life around achievements at work and personal goals and fitness goals, and a lot of us are walking around the planet in a state of equating our self-worth with how much we do and how hard we work. And my question is this an ideal and or a really healthy way of living your life? If you grew up in a household that only rewarded you with conditional love and attention, if you were obedient, you got good grades in school, you worked really hard, then you might be walking around as an adult whose whole life and sense of meaning come from your job and always being busy. So the idea of not suffering or living by deadlines is almost a foreign concept reserved for lazy people or lucky bastards. A schedule should not be used in a way to torture yourself like it gives you some kind of time shortage mindset or low-grade anxiety. That's not enjoyable or sustainable unless you get off on the stress response, which is probably a clinical issue. A schedule should be used to increase the quality of your life, and you get to decide what quality means to you. For me, I like quality things like wooden furniture, not plywood. I like solid wooden relationships that don't flake when you drag them across the floor. I also like feeling curious and eager and playful for life. It's more trimming away the BS and allowing myself, my authentic self, to show up. Resenting the life that you currently have is not living. And waiting until you're on holidays to feel alive and joyful is also not living. It is a very narrow window of your life. You want weekly holiday vibes. So I'm going to share what I do. I'm not here to tell you what to do, and you're probably thinking, well, good luck with that anyway. I can hear your sass from here. But seriously, you know yourself better than anyone else. You know what ticks you off, you know what lights you up, you know when you're about to sneeze. Well, you hope so, otherwise that could be a complete mess. Basically, I'm not going to tell you that you need to wake up at 5 a.m. and you should only be eating organic air. Like, being skinny is the only thing that matters on this planet. But what I will emphasize is that feeling good, feeling well, that's the stuff that matters. And deep down, you know what feels good for you. I love sauerkraut. I wake up and I'm like, sauerkraut! It's just amazing. I haven't humped a cabbage. Now that I've put that image in your head, wait, I can fix this. Oh yeah. Firstly, a couple of notes about the schedule setting. Some deadlines are just not realistic. I need to have all my stuff figured out by 30. Probably not going to happen. Even at 40. And probably 50. And probably until we cark it. There are just too many things we don't know at any given point in time to think that we should have it all down, do the whole kids, marriage, job thing, and have loads of money by X age. We're doing okay. You're doing okay. You had some water today? I need to get some water. Speaking of water. glacial water. Yes! The best ever. Never got so excited to drink water from a tap in my life. And it's so cold. Oh, it's the best. Anyway, some water? Some water? Oh, okay. You have internet connection to watch this? You're doing amazing at survival. Celebrate that shiz. And I celebrate you watching my videos. You inspire me to create. And if you've got questions or you want to see particular footage of New Zealand, do let me know. Happy to help. And I want to hopefully share useful ideas and concepts, or just simply calming and fun content, because heck knows we can all do with an uplift. If we wait to celebrate life until we get that red Ferrari, well, most of our life is not that moment of getting that red Ferrari. Getting that car is 3 minutes. There's life before then and life after then. You want your timeline to allow for moments of joy as much as possible. I'm not saying that you should be happy all the time. I think that's quite delusional. I'm finding that most of the time we're spending our lives pursuing something, not actually having hit it. So you want to make sure you're enjoying the pursuit of something. And you're not going to enjoy it if you're not flexible, because life gets weird. Maybe you hit the goal sooner. Maybe it took ages later to hit it. Maybe you're halfway through a goal and you realize that's not even what I blinking well want at all. I mean, that often happens with job choices. Deadlines should not make you feel dead inside from pursuing them. The second thing I learned was paying myself first. Like the money tip, I recommend this in terms of your time as well. I cannot emphasize this enough. Oh wait, I can. Every week, you must, when you plan out your schedule for the week, you must first allocate time for yourself. How much time? Well, story time. When I did volunteer work in Norway a number of years ago, I lived with a host family and I was painting houses just outside of Oslo. And that was part of my homestay. And the woman of the house, hi Anne Beth if you're watching, she introduced me to a concept I had never heard of, Woman's Day. Now in Australia, that's a magazine. I thought, what? No, it's something that women do in Norway. Well, I don't know whether all women do it, but it's certainly what my host did. I'm sure she's not the only woman who does it though. Woman's Day is one day of the week that a woman takes out for herself to do absolutely nothing unless she wants to. She's only to do things for pleasure. Woman's Day is to reset, to recharge, to not be serving or doing things for other people. And I felt like that was one of the most radical things I'd ever heard of. And then the other voice in my head kicked in and went, why is that so weird? What have I been doing with my life and my time? What is this not flogging myself like a pack mule for the rest of my life? Because dealing with a zombie that's left over from work is really not fun. I know quite a number of people in relationships where it's become a situation where they're so knackered from coming home from work that they've got nothing to give to their partner but leftovers. It's either talking about the crappy day from work, problems, negativity. It's almost, the relationship has become a dumping ground, an emotional dumping ground. If you don't give yourself some time to do nothing and create a buffer in your week, we can all find ourselves a little bit in zombie mode. The amount of time doesn't have to be huge. It's just more that you're putting something in the calendar. So it can be 20 minutes a week. It can be starting with 10 minutes a week. I find it hard to sit down and do nothing. It takes me a lot to just stop. A lot of you can probably relate to this. You go on a holiday and you spend the first week just winding down, and then the holiday's over and then you've got to slam and wind back up again. So trying to find ways to wind down quicker and make it more regular, not just have one long slog of a break and then spend half of that time just trying to unwind. Don't wait until the holidays to feel good. Oh, this is one of my favorites. I had a mental switch go off when I learned about this concept. Use your weekends to build your dream life instead of escaping your current one. If you don't use what time you have available to build a new train track, you're never going to get off that loop. It's really a test to see how much you want to get out of your box life, and a test of discipline to keep working on building that escape plan every single week. Basically, pick your poison. You either suffer a lifestyle that you don't like and live with your thoughts about your inaction, but you have comfort every weekend, or you suffer having to pick up the shovel after a long workday, but with all of that effort going into your eventual freedom. There is no not choosing. There's only living with the consequences of whichever choice you make. We can't eat, drink, and Netflix our way out of facing the ultimate consequence. This is a kind of harsh but exciting stuff I'm learning, and I'm sharing it not to ram anything down your throat. I'm sharing what's worked for me, what I'm figuring out, and I'm pulling on that thread and I'm like, geez, there's so much more I don't know. And it's very humbling. And I keep looking up because I just gotta share this. I'm gonna go for a walk and I'll take you with me. So speaking about ultimate consequence, I'm gonna get off my butt now and go for another hike. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye.